We're back reading some more Am I the A-hole today, and I hope you guys are excited. Thank you for joining me once again, I really appreciate it, and let's get into it. Enjoy, guys. Am I the a-hole for ignoring our daughter's inconvenient boundary? My wife, 39 female, and I, 36 female, have a daughter. Technically my stepdaughter, but I've raised her since she was 5. 19 female, from a previous relationship of my wife's. Her father is not in the picture. Who's come back home after her first year at uni. She picked up a new and problematic issue since she was last home for an extended period of time. Surrounding laundry. Basically, she established a boundary where nobody is to touch her clothes. Her reasoning is that she's concerned something will go missing or get damaged, thinks it's gross for us to go through her stuff, and is an adult who deserves privacy. That's all fine. We have 3 young children in our home, 9 female, and 2 male, so there's plenty of washing to keep us entertained. The issue though is that she has a habit of monopolizing washing facilities to the extent where we're effectively prevented from being able to get any other laundry done. For example, last weekend she put a wash in before work and hung it out on the line around 11 AM. She then left for work 12 PM to 10 PM. Her wash was dry within an hour, and obviously she wasn't going to be back all day. We had a few days worth of washing to get through, so my wife, her mum, took everything off the line and folded it. We got through 5 other loads that day. She was not happy when she got home and said that she'd been very clear that we weren't to touch her things. When we explained the situation above, she said that it was first come, first served. That's not something we've ever said, and that since the next day was due to be nice also, we should have just waited to get through it the next day. That really pissed us off. Yeah, I bet it did, OP. That would have pissed me off too. We've offered her a weekly laundry day where we'll avoid using the machine so she can have freedom to do as she pleases on that day, but she said that once a week won't cut it. Fair enough, but there are 5 other people in the house that need clean clothes and bedding and towels. Other than that, all we can really suggest is that she keeps on top of her washing. If she's at home, we'll ask her to clean her clothes from the machine and dryer and washing line as needed. But like any 19-year-old, she has a social life and work commitments and is often busy. She's upset because she says that we're not respecting her boundaries, whereas we've pointed out while "don't move my clothes" is objectively reasonable, it's not fair for her to do so at the inconvenience of everybody else in our home. Essentially, the last conversation that we had ended up with her in tears because we said as long as situations like Saturday keep on occurring, we will continue to move her stuff. Just FYI, we do fold her clothes carefully, and we leave them in a basket in a communal living room so they're kept together, in good condition, and we're not going in and out of her room. We normally have a good relationship with her, so this is a bit unusual. We've asked her if everything else is okay, and she says yeah, and seems otherwise normal and off herself, and she is normally reasonable, so are we being unreasonable? Edit, so the consensus is pretty much that we're right, and our daughter is being massively unreasonable, and that we're being pushovers for not being tougher on her from the start. We have shown her the comments, and unfortunately she's still insisting that we're the unreasonable ones. Oh, come on. We'd never considered the local laundromat and have banned her from using our washing machine for the next fortnight given that she's still unwilling to adjust. She's absolutely furious, and my wife has ordered a lock for the washroom door to enforce the 2-week rule. Hopefully a couple of weeks of hauling her stuff to and from will help her see the light. Thank you very much, all. Edit 2, a slightly calmer update this morning. Our daughter came to talk to us and apologized for the situation. She said that she had found the transition back home hard. I get that, and had maybe become a bit territorial over her stuff while at uni. All okay. She then asked if she could please have a laundry day and be allowed to use the machine. Her place of work is shut Monday, so that's now her day. And we have said that she can use the machine on other days, but if by 7 AM Tuesday there's anything in the way, or any issues on any other days, we'll be moving her stuff. A genuine sorry goes a long way with us, and while the advice has been to hold firm, we don't really want an issue if the situation can be resolved calmly. We've also made it clear that if her things do have to be moved on any day, other than Monday, which is totally hers, and we get any grief about it, we'll go back to a 2-week ban and there's no going back. Maybe a less satisfying update than the last one, but we are happy that we can resolve the problem calmly. She did mention she'd read through some of these comments last night, so thank you to everybody that weighed in. Oh, that's good. So like a pretty happy ending to this one. I love it when that happens. I'm so glad that she realized that she was being unreasonable, because she definitely was. Even though we don't really need to, I will read the top comment. Not the a-hole. This is insane. You can respect her boundaries, but she needs to work within your rules and schedule, etc. She can't just dictate something and then make it impossible to go about your own business. That's ludicrous. The good thing is you have the upper hand here. If she doesn't want her stuff touched, then she better get it off the line before you need to use it. Number 1, ask her for input on timing, but being clear that there are 6 people living in the house and she gets the equivalent of 1/6 of the available time to do her wash. Number 2, if she fights it, assign her a time. Number 3, respect that time and don't do any of your wash during her scheduled time so she can't come back at you that your stuff was in the wash. Number 4, go about your business. If her stuff is in the wash or on the line and she's not around to move it, you move it. Done. Period. This teenager making rules BS has to stop. You're the parents and it's your house. Yeah, definitely. I'm so happy that was resolved. Post number 2 is called, Am I the gay hoe for not getting my daughter anything for her birthday? My daughter turned 13 yesterday. I made sure to ask her what she wants for her birthday a few months in advance. She gave me a list. Great. I explained she won't be getting everything from the list as it was big, and some of the things were expensive. She understood. About a week after we had that conversation, she tells me that she wants tickets to a show for her birthday. Going to the show would also mean traveling a little bit out of the city. Neither are cheap. So I told her that would be the only gift that she would get, and it would also replace a party. She said that's what she wants, and I triple checked before I booked the tickets. A couple of weeks ago, would you believe she tells me that she changed her mind again? Now she wants some clothes instead of the show. I told her I already booked everything, so there's absolutely no way. She got into a strop about it and said that she isn't going. I told her fine, I'll take somebody else, fully expecting her to later apologize and say that she's coming, but the apology never came. In fact, her attitude got worse and she got into trouble at school. She asked me if I got her the clothes and I told her no, I'm sticking to my word. I don't think she believed me. Well, her birthday came and she realized that I wasn't bluffing. I didn't get her any gifts. She was appalled and I was the worst mother ever. I told her she's learned her valuable lesson. I really did want to make her birthday special, but she was being awful. Of course, other relatives got her things, but none from me. She told her grandparents her side of the story, which was of course all one-sided, making her out as a victim. They called me and I explained to them the whole truth. They also think I'm awful and the poor girl needs gifts from her mum. I told them next year will be different if she behaves. Am I the gay hole? There's a comment here that says everybody sucks. She's acting bratty, but you're being a little harsh. What happened with the tickets? Were they returnable or resellable? And OP said, yes, I sold them. That's interesting. So you sold the tickets, but you still didn't get any other gifts? I think that makes it a little bit different. Yeah, like this comment says, I'm betting she didn't do anything to celebrate her daughter's birthday. From her wording, it seemed pretty apparent that she wanted to teach her a lesson, which to be fair, there definitely should have been a lesson, but not one that leaves her birthday devoid of any type of acknowledgement or celebration. She said next year things will be different if she behaves. Maybe I'm projecting here, as I had a mother who liked to teach unnecessary lessons that ultimately just left me feeling unloved and unworthy, but I really hope she at least got some cake and a verbal happy birthday. Yeah, 100%. There has to be some sort of acknowledgement of the birthday. That's a bit misleading though, isn't it? Because when you read that post, it makes it sound like they got tickets and then the daughter changed her mind and wanted clothes instead. But OP didn't buy the clothes, but they also still had the tickets. But they didn't still have the tickets. They sold the tickets and there was no presents at all. Yeah, no, I feel like there should have been something. Yeah, like this comment said, did you still get her a card and a cake? I mean, you made a bargain and she learned her lesson about the present, but other celebrations not as dependent on money don't get cancelled, do they? I'm trying to figure out if on her actual birthday you A, took away the already spent gift money, or B, took away love. Yeah, no, there should have been some sort of acknowledgement and something. Wow, that's so interesting because that changes everything that they sold the tickets. I was so ready to be like, oh no, you're completely not the a-hole. Like you went and you bought these tickets and your daughter changed her mind and she wanted something else. And you were like, no, I'm not changing my mind on these tickets. You're gonna have these tickets. Assuming that the daughter was actually still gonna get those tickets to the show. But no, they sold the tickets. So there was no show. There was no nothing. Yeah, no, that's not good. Like, yeah, the daughter does need to learn that her actions do have consequences, but I think OP definitely took it too far. The next one is called, Am I the a-hole for telling my wife's friends that I make more money than her? I, 25 male, am married to my wife Sasha, 28 female. She does come from a pretty wealthy background while I decidedly do not. My dad left before I was born and my mum died when I was 11. I have mainly gotten over it as much as one can get over something like that. However, I'm still sensitive on any so-called jokes on that. I graduated summa cum laude and went straight into investment banking. I met my wife when I was 23 and fresh into it, but after 3 years I do earn pretty well. My wife is a lawyer. Now I love my wife and she loves me, obviously, but her family hates me, like from the depths of their souls hates me. I've been called a gold digger, a lowlife, and a few more vague insults on my table manners. I went to a quote-unquote party with her the other day, one of those fancy schmancy things that everybody drinks champagne and complains about this and that and the other, talking about, oh, we spent so much money on renovations, gasping, and I got the usual mild comments from my wife's family and close friends on where my wife picked me up from. Lacey, I don't think knew about my family history before. We were talking about dads, don't ask me why, and I got a question on what my dad did, and I said I didn't know, I never met the guy. Lacey made this kind of exaggerated gasp and went, oh, well, we all know why you're with her, my wife, then don't we? I acted all confused and she got flustered and just kept on going with, well, you know. My wife did try to move the conversation along, but by this point I wasn't letting it go. I kept pushing and pushing until Lacey finally said, well, you two don't exactly have the same finances, do you? And then responded with, you're right, I make quite some more. Lacey by this point was too embarrassed to keep going. I'd kind of ruined the vibe, but the night continued. This isn't the kind of event you walk away from. We went home and that's when crap genuinely went down. She told me that it was crazy of me to keep pushing on that point and to turn one comment into one of the most embarrassing moments of her life, and now everybody in her circle must think that she's some kind of failure to earn so much less than her husband, and that I'd ruined everything. But it's not like I lied. I'm just tired of being treated like crap in her circle. My wife is upset though, and I do care about her, so I need to know, am I the a-hole? Wait, so when you went home, your wife was upset at you? Oh no, OP, you're not in the wrong. Lacey is embarrassing for even saying a comment like that. Like, how lame do you have to be to even make a comment like that? Like, oh, well, I can see why you're with them. Like, what an awful thing to say to somebody. Like, completely dismissing all of the love that they have for each other and being like, oh, you're only with her because she makes so much money. Get the hell out of here with that crap. How embarrassing. What a cringe and awful thing to say to somebody. The top comment says, now everybody in her circle must think she's some kind of a failure to earn so much less than her husband, but she was perfectly fine letting everybody in her life think that you were a failure that lives off her. She's also apparently perfectly fine letting them mock or insult you, the man that she allegedly loves. Why is her image more important than your dignity and the respect for your marriage? A person can earn less than their wealthy partner and still be with them out of love, and she's allowing that to be questioned. Not the a-hole. Both her and her circle sound vain, materialistic, and classist, and I'm afraid those traits are going to be hard to change. Also, how embarrassing. Like, the money one is so common. People think like, oh, you know, I'm rich, I make so much money, so therefore I get to judge people and like put them down and put yourself higher than everybody else. But the funny and also sad part about it is like there are so many people in the world that would make so much more money than like the people in this post, and I bet they don't walk around putting people down and acting like they're better than everybody. It's the most cringe behavior ever. And no, you're not the a-hole, OP. People like Lacey are embarrassing. Yeah, like this comment said, I grew up in a wealthy area and the wealthiest guy of all used to drive a Beta station wagon and wore flannel shirts everywhere. At my parents' parties, men would come up to him and brag about how wealthy they were, and then patronizingly ask what he did. He would say, I work in a factory, which was true, except he worked in a lot of factories that he owned, and he was pretty hands-on. Other people who knew were laughing at the people who bragged, who never got the joke. I've told that story a couple of times at appropriate moments, or sometimes I say, I was taught it's rude to brag or ask about money. It usually doesn't work. Those people have their facts wrong, and you corrected the facts. They're a-holes who are embarrassed that they stepped on a rake. You are not the a-hole. Why has your wife been putting up with this? She should have long ago told her family the situation and shut down their crap fast. Is she as insecure as her brother? Yeah, insecure, that's what it is. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your wife and her friends are definitely the a-hole. And yeah, how insecure do they have to be to stand around and brag to each other so they can make themselves feel better? And like this comment says, honestly, you're not the a-hole, but your wife is. If this is her circle, she should have stopped that Lacey immediately. People think that you're a gold digger because your wife lets them think about it. She's more worried about what people would think about her earnings than people talking bad about you. Yeah, your wife and her friends are showing all sorts of red flags, OP. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for sending a price sheet to my family after not being invited to my half-sister's wedding? Let's get straight to the point. I, 22 female, am a full-time baker for a small business and a college student. I moved back to my home state in September of 2023, mainly to get away from my toxic family and for better opportunities. Also, to add why this is even an issue in the first place, my brother, Jay, 25 male, and I are the black sheep of the family, mainly due to the fact that we were born and mainly raised outside of marriage. The teasing and neglect only grew worse after our mother, 44 female, married Jerkfish, 54 male, and had her half-siblings, 20 female, 17 male, 16 male, and 11 male. My half-sister, who we'll call Jojo, 20 female, is getting married to Rit, 22 male, in July. My mum and grandma asked that I make them a wedding cake, which I would have happily agreed to if I was invited to the wedding. The thing is, they wanted me to make a cake fit for 200 people, get a hotel near them. They hate that I'm not a Christian, so they think that I'll bring evil into their house. Oh my god. Work for 3 days and get a flight there and back, and I'd have to pay for all of it. They think it'd be a nice gift to my sister. Oh, what? I just laughed and I sent them a price sheet. They flipped out. I was bombarded with messages from them about how I'm so selfish and I'm truly vile, how I'm toxic for expecting my family to pay for my cake when they could just go to Walmart and get one. Jojo even messaged me on Discord a week after I'd sent the price sheet and asked me why I'd charge her when I made my best friend a free wedding cake. I simply told her to F off, as not only was I invited to her wedding, but I was the maid of honor, and in a way it was returning the favor for being a genuinely good friend and helping me out when I was going through a lot of stuff. Jay and his wife are saying that I'm not wrong for it, and they'd do the same, and my boyfriend is on my side. However, a few people in my life are saying I should have just said a simple no instead of sending the sheet, and that my response to my sister was harsh. No way, OP. So I need an outside perspective. Hopefully other bakers on here too. Am I the a-hole? Update, I found out the exact reason for my brother's family and I not getting invited. 3 months after my sister and her soon-to-be husband got engaged, my grandmother requested that my sister not invite the sinners. It was more along the lines of, if you don't invite your siblings, you'll she'll get a hefty portion of my will. Don't really know what the proper term for that is, but I digress. So my sister is catering to the needs of my racist grandmother over her own sisters. I also found out another reason, out of many, why my brother and I were black sheep in the family. So you see, my mother is whiter than paper. My brother and I's biological father is Lakota Sioux Native American. We were told that he just left us because that's how the savages act, when in reality, our dad died from a terminal respiratory illness that he had since he was a toddler. Some cis type of deal, not too sure. The hatred from them only grew further when my brother married a black woman and had my 3 nieces together, 4th on the way. I told Jojo how hurt I was by picking money over family, but I kinda expected it. She tried to offer me $50 to make the cake that she wanted, and I just declined. I shared this post with my brother and he's rolling while reading the comments. Also, to the people who DM me to tell me that they hope I go out of business, my boss says hi, by the way, and that I deserve getting abused as a child because I'm a snot now. F off. Stay awesome and as brutal as ever, Reddit. Thank you for all of your support. OP left a comment here that said, so some common questions I've received. Where would I be making the cake? One of the family quote-unquote friends' homes. They have a huge kitchen with multiple ovens and space. I've not been on good standing ground with them since I was 16. Why haven't you been invited to the wedding? How would you get the cake there? It's a plethora of reasons, from not following the same religious beliefs to not wanting to go to school for law or not wanting to be a trad wife, to me not being my abusive grandma's ass kisser. The list of my flaws according to my biological family is endless. I'd have to rent a car to transport the cake. In short, the type of cake they wanted was going to be $2,300 at the minimum. And they expected you to do that as a wedding present to a wedding that you're not even invited to? Where do these people get off? Oh, that's so awful. Like, so awful that it's laughable. Like, yeah, you're not invited to the wedding because we all feel like you're evil, but please make a 200-person wedding cake. And of course, we're not going to pay for it. You should do that out of the kindness of your heart. What a joke. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't need to say that you're not the a-hole. And I also feel like I don't need to say that that's enough for today. We need to read something wholesome. It's been such an adventure of an episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, I feel like I've hit my am I the a-hole limit. This lady in the washroom looking at me said, I remember when my girlfriends and I would get dressed up and go out. I miss that. So I said, why miss it? We're all out right now, aren't we? Long story short, we have a new friend. Oh, that's so cute. What an absolute legend. Like everybody in these pictures, absolute legends. That's such a nice thing to do, and you can tell it made them so happy. You singing with your full potential, and it's amazing while taking a shower. The spider in your bathroom. Yeah, how true is that? Talk to your favorite little spider in the corner every time you have a shower. Also, that's Lucas the spider in that picture there. So cute if you haven't checked that out before. My hopes and dreams. Don't worry, that's a recycling bin, not a trash bin. Your hopes and dreams can be recycled into new and different ones that can sustain you. Oh, that's so cute. Hell yeah, they can. Me telling my friend the thing that I've already told him many different times. My friend listening with interest. Yeah, like I've definitely heard this before, but that's okay. I love you very much. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more Am I the Gay Hole episodes, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Cats Over Brats. Yesterday we adopted a cat almost 2 years old. She's a giant furball of black, white and brown colors. I've never had a long-haired cat before, but I'm ready. She's only 2.7 kilos. We named her Kiwi, aka Minnie Floof, aka Fluffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, that's so cute. Congratulations, Cats Over Brats. I hope you and Kiwi have a beautiful life together. That's so cute. I love hearing about stuff like that. If you guys have any cat news, definitely leave it in the comments. And on that note, I'm out of here. Thank you for the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!